Please, let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Gary Eichten.
Well, thank you, Shelley. Father Tim, fathers, school sisters, parents, staff, friends, family members, class of 65 who came out this evening, thank you so much for asking me to speak. It is a great honor to come back home where I got my start. Graduating class of 2012, congratulations. You can be very, very proud of what you have accomplished. Give yourself a hand. I remember sitting where you are 47 years ago, wondering where I was going and what would happen when I got there. And I'm reminded of that because, of course, you have a party coming up this evening. Don't know where you're going or what will happen when you get there. A great introduction to life after Loyola. Don't worry, I'm not going to talk long. I'm not going to talk long tonight. I did a survey earlier about, people, do they remember who gave their commencement address? Do they remember anything that people said? Not one word. So I'm going to keep it short, let you pick up your diploma and get to that party and get on with your life after Loyola. You won't know where you're going this evening or what happens when you get there. I was, as I said, wondering that same thing 47 years ago. What the future would hold, where I would fit into the big scheme of things. What should I aspire to? Was I destined to be, President of the United States? Was I supposed to dig ditches? I frankly had no clue where I was supposed to fit in. As it turned out, as Shelley mentioned, I ended up as a radio announcer, but I sure didn't plan to be a radio announcer. Actually, it was pure accident that I ended up in radio. I lost my summer job at the concrete plant here in Mankato, needed to make some money for college. So I thought, well, I've been in the student newspaper and I've been on debate, so on and so forth. Maybe I could get a job at a radio station. Fortunately, I got a job playing polka records in New Ulm, and I ended up with a career in radio news. So it turned out fine, but it was pure luck. Heck, the radio station that I ended up working for all those years, Minnesota Public Radio, didn't even exist when I graduated from Loyola. Public radio did not exist when I graduated from Loyola. There was simply no way that I could plan to do what I ended up doing. So, message here, don't worry if you're a little uncertain tonight about what your future might bring. It will work out, don't worry about it. But do fasten your seatbelt and get ready for some big changes coming your way, because they sure will come your way. Think about it. In 1965, when I graduated, there were actually 2 Catholic high schools in Mankato and 1 public high school. Good Counsel, Loyola, Good Counsel is up here, Loyola, down on the Fitzgerald campus. 1 high school, public high school, where Mankato West is. Now that's flip-flop. I don't think anybody predicted that at the time. Back in 1965, we were still talking about maybe one day having somebody walk on the moon. It would be 4 more years before Neil Armstrong took that giant leap. No computers back in 1965. Think about that. None of the digital devices that we've come to depend so much on. Smartphones, there were no iPads or iPhones, no laptops, no desktops. The only computers there were these giant room-sized mainframes that the government spies operated with. That was it. Believe it or not, in 1965 there was widespread trust in government. When the president, it's true, when the president or Congress or a governor would say something, people actually believed it. Not so much anymore. In 1965, Martin Luther King was a real person. He was not a statue or a holiday or a historical figure. He was a real guy who you saw on TV every night trying to change society. Women, other than a handful of occupations, teachers, secretaries, nurses, there were virtually no opportunities for women in the workplace in 1965. Young women who graduated from Loyola in 1965 really had very few career options. And for those of us who are sports fans, in 1965, by golly, we had genuine hope that the Minnesota Vikings would win a Super Bowl. Not really, though, because the Super Bowl hadn't been created yet. So much has changed in 47 years since I sat where you folks are sitting. And so much is going to change for you over the next 47 years. So get ready, but don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. You'll be able to handle whatever comes your way. You've received a great education to work with. Loyola is a terrific school, probably a better school than the one I graduated from. And Loyola in 1965 was pretty good. I think your school is better. You've got lots of support to fall back on from your parents, your teachers, from your friends and classmates. Make sure you keep in touch. And of course, you have your faith to guide you. And I gotta say, your future looks real bright. Don't worry about getting a job. It is tough out there right now, no question about it. But the state demographer tells us that as more and more people my age retire, Minnesota will actually face a labor shortage. There should be plenty of jobs available for you to choose from. The only question is whether or not you'll have the skills to fill those jobs. And we are confident that you will. I do urge that no matter where you go or what you end up doing, you make sure you can always pass what I call the mirror test. Now, what does that mean? As years go by, I think you will find yourself often getting praised for good things that you didn't actually do, and getting criticized for sins that you didn't actually commit. The lesson I take from that is don't worry so much about other people, what they say or what they think about you. The real test is whether you can pass the mirror test, whether you can look yourself in the mirror every day and know that you have done your very best at whatever it might be. And only you will know whether or not you passed. And by the way, I think you'll find that talent is real good, very helpful, but hard work, honesty, and dedication is even better. A couple of other thoughts while I have you here. First of all, please be open to new ideas. I have been extraordinarily lucky in my life to interview some of the most interesting and important people in America. People who are chock full of new, important, great ideas. And I've learned a lot in the process. I suggest you be open to new ideas too, wherever you find them. Challenge yourself. Search out new ideas and make the best ones your own. Please be willing to serve. It is central to Loyola's mission, as you know, and we really need you in the neighborhood, in the community, really across the board. For that matter, get involved in politics. You know, a lot of people are down on politics, but get involved, run for something. You can make a big difference. And be a peacemaker. As you well know, our country has been at war since you folks started second grade. Think about that. That's not a good thing. You can do a lot better than we did. A couple of weeks ago, I had the chance to meet with 8 of you. The idea was to learn a little bit more about the class of 2012 before I speak to the class of 2012. And sure enough, I learned a lot about your class and about Mr. Rundell. Mr. Rundell, a teacher who I'm told specializes in math and life. Mr. Rundell, would you stand up and take a bow? Students, welcome. Great teachers are precious, and I'm happy to say that my Mr. Rundell is here this evening. Sister Paula Young, SSND. Sister, would you stand up, please? Sister Paula made all the difference in my life while I was here at Loyola. And so I'm going to wrap up with some wisdom from Sister Paula that I hope you will take to heart. Graduation, she told me, graduation is not an ending, but rather a beginning. So get started, and good luck. Have a great life, make Loyola proud, and remember, even though you may not know where you're going or what will happen when you get there, if you do your best, you'll do just fine. Congratulations.